Hello, welcome to Steve McDonald's Arts and Crafts, and today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be showing you how you can cast a dandelion in resin. Now, I know you've probably seen a lot of videos on this, and they do show it, and they really get great results, but I've not seen one that talks you through it. Now, I picked these a couple of days ago, and the best thing is that you can do is pick them as soon as they open up, which is really difficult, but how you can tell that is if they have got all their little fluffy bits in and all their seeds still in place. And then what I do is I take a toothpick and I push it up the inside of the stem. And this is for two reasons. One, it gives it rigidity if you want to put it into your mould. And two, it allows you to dry off the stem as quickly as possible because you don't want the stem to be damp when you're putting it into your mould because it may rot. The other thing I do, and the reason to pick it nice and fresh, is I spray them very lightly from a distance with some spray sealer, and that allows them to stay in place while you're casting. If you don't do that, then the tendency is they come off during the cast. Now, I've heard a lot of people say, well, I use hairspray for things like this. Now, I don't know if hairspray works. I don't know if it discolours in resin. So I can't recommend hairspray. But I will link in the description the actual spray that I recommend. This is one I did that was opened up, and it'd probably been opened up about a day. And as you can see inside, even though it's been sprayed, there are still seeds coming out and the actual head will come off. And it's not to say that it wouldn't cast well. In fact, you could probably put it in there like that. But it just makes it a little bit more difficult. But as you can see on there, that has dried really nicely onto that stick and it's not going anywhere. And then what I do is I cut my stick down. I'm going to attach this to this little stone because I really like it. And not only that, but it also gives it a bit of weight when it goes into the mould. And I think it makes it look really, really nice. And how I'll do that is I will cut this down. I will think, right, how far do I want that? I want that to be about there. So I will cut this down to about there, if you can see. Pop it on the stone using a little bit of UV resin. Let's do that now. All I use to cut this down is a pair of wire clippers, and be really, really careful when you're doing this because you want to keep it on there. So as you can see, that just shot off, but look, because it's been sprayed, it's worked really well to keep it together. And I'm going to pop that on that little stone there. And that stick will give it the rigidity you need not to fall over. I'm then going to take a tiny bit of UV resin. And I will link everything that I've got and I use today in the description below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. And ring my little bell so you get notifications when they're coming out. And then all I do is I pop that in there like so, making sure it's well covered and shine my UV light on it. And that'll cure up and leave that nicely in place. And also what else it will do is it will allow you to use the stone as a weight so it doesn't float up. And also what else it does is it allows you to use the stone to handle and move the actual piece around in. You don't have to have the stone. If you want to do it without the stone, then what you could do is pour a little bit of clear resin in there first, let that cure up, pop this in, attach it to that, and then continue the pour. So I'm now going to wait a minute before I pop that in there, because what I shall do is before I pop that in there, I shall put some resin in there so that this stone doesn't expose itself, naughty stone, on the actual bottom of here when I demold it. I've got my resin mixed up, and as you can see, I'm pouring it in here as slowly as I can with a really thin stream. And the reason for doing it like that is to prevent actually introducing any additional bubbles to the resin. If you'd like to buy me a coffee just to say thank you for any of my videos and get your name on the board for next month, then the link for that is in the description below. And every penny that people give me, I reinvest back into buying stuff for the channel. So there we go, I'm nearly up to the head now, and once I'm on to the head of the dandelion, what I'm doing is I'm ensuring that I continue to pour really slowly, because that allows any bubbles that are trapped inside that head to release. It also stops you pushing or moving around the little fronds and the seeds, and they stay where they are, and it keeps it really nicely compacted and together and gives you a nice clear casting at the end. I've also got another channel as well where I do lots of other different craftings which are really quite fun, so check that out. The link for that is also in the description. I love filling the description with links that are useful for people. Going over it now with my torch, what I'll do is I'll leave it another 5 minutes, go over it with my torch again, and then let it cure for 24 hours. Well, my dandelion's ready to demold now. As you'll probably can see, I don't know if you can. There is a fingerprint there because I had to test it, didn't I? So there we go. So let's just take this out of the mould. And it is a quite nice large square mould. But this one does demold ever so easily. As soon as you get the air in it, it just pops out. Oh, it's cold in my studio today. Now, obviously the resin has shrunk away from the top as it always did, and I didn't want to overfill it because I can give that a dome if I want to, but I'm not going to because I quite like it like that. And it has, I think, cast in there really, really nicely. And I like the stone. I think the stone gives it just that little bit more interest. But look, there's not one of those bits is out of place. And I used the ultimate casting resin from Resin Colour, and it comes out lovely and clear. And you can pour a mould this size easily in one pour without any problems whatsoever. Be sure to check out the video that's coming up next on tips and tricks to save time and money and prevent failures with your resin work. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring my notification bell so you get notified when any of my videos come out. And if you'd like to buy me a coffee or become a member of the channel and benefit from all the extra perks and benefits, then the link to that is in the description, along with links to all the materials and everything that I used in today's project. Take care, enjoy your resin, thank you for your support. Bye.